Robin traveled full-time as a modern American nomad. She had seen incredible places, dealt with broken RV parts, and survived plenty of mishaps, but some nights felt completely different. On a dark evening in California, camping in a long-term visitor area on government land, she sensed something was off before she even opened the door. The desert was quiet, except for distant planes and the occasional boom from nearby military exercises. Shadows stretched long across the sand, twisted in shapes that didn't seem natural. Her boyfriend ran into the RV, eyes wide, voice tense. "You need to come outside," he said. The way he said it made her stomach tighten.
My boyfriend came and got me and he said, "Yeah, I think you're going to want to come outside because I think there's a dude out here." So, of course, I say, "A dude? What do you mean, a dude?"
Something was moving near the edge of the camp, and it didn't feel right. She grabbed her flashlight, heart hammering, and stepped into the darkness. Outside, the campground was tense. Neighbors had emerged from their vehicles, whispering and pointing toward a figure in the distance. It stood roughly the height of a man, completely still, and yet its presence felt deliberate and wrong. A beacon on its helmet flashed white, green, and then red, pulsing sharply in the dark desert. Then headlights appeared on a ridge, cutting through the darkness.
And I went outside, and in the distance, about the height of a man, we saw this flashing beacon. Our neighbors were rushing outside and congregating, and motion sensor lights were going off, and voices were raised, and I was like, shut up, we don't know what this is. Red Dawn. This is the first image that we got. When we looked at the dude through the night vision, we were even more alarmed. In night vision, it looks like a dude in a big spacesuit was standing right over there. We can see that he's got a beacon on his helmet that goes from white to green to red, and we could hear him and see him pulling up a parachute. And then two nondescript pickup trucks fly into the campground just on that ridge over there, and the dude pulls his parachute up the ridge. You can see all of them here. They take the dude's pack off, they take his parachute and him, and they put him in this truck, and they hauled ass out of this campground.
Two trucks rolled in, engines growling, and men in dark clothing jumped out with swift precision. It lifted the figure, removed the parachute, and shoved it into a truck bed. The roar of the engines faded as the trucks disappeared over the ridge, leaving the desert silent again. Everyone stood frozen, staring at the empty space where the figure had been. Later, they discovered the campground was near a paratrooper training base, and the man had simply drifted off course. The trucks had appeared so suddenly, and the parachute had flailed across the sand like it had a life of its own. No one spoke for a long time, the quiet stretching over the desert, leaving only the faint rustle of the fabric and the memory of the strange, jerking figure burning in their minds. Larry runs a small channel out of his micro-truck camper. He travels the back roads of Arizona with his two Chihuahuas, Mason and Marty, filming everything from quiet desert sunsets to terrifying solo nights. He always says the channel is about freedom, about showing viewers what it's like to live off-grid. But on one particular night deep in the woods south of Williams, Arizona, freedom turned into fear. He was parked 12 miles from the nearest town, surrounded by towering pines. The night was silent until a scream cut through the dark.
Hear that?
A woman's voice crying for help. It came again, louder, echoing across the trees. Larry grabbed his flashlight and his camera and stepped outside, determined to document whatever was happening. Searching. That's when he saw movements, something shifting between the trees.
Hello? Do you need help? Okay, that's creepy.
A figure watching. He turned panicked and began running back to the camper.
There's somebody out there. Gunshot. What do you want? I just heard that. I just heard the bay door open.
Moments later, a loud knock rattled the camper. Whoever it was wanted inside. The pounding didn't stop. Then came the sound of metal, the bay door being forced open. Whoever it was crawled beneath the floor, setting off the truck camper's safety alarm. The shrill siren blared in the dark, and then just as suddenly it stopped. Silence returned, heavy and unnatural. Larry cautiously stepped outside to check. The woods were empty. No voices, no movement, nothing. But then the video shows it clear as day. A hooded man running straight into the camper. No warning, no sound beforehand. At first it looked like a prank, a stunt staged for the viewers. But it wasn't. It was real, and it was terrifying. Thanks for hanging out through this creepy ride. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like the video and hit subscribe. It really helps, and hey, stay alert out there. You never know what might be lurking in the dark. Snow and Curt had always told themselves that van life was freedom. Years earlier, they had left everything behind in Florida. Jobs their home, even the comfort of their routine. They bought a Mercedes printer van, converted it into a tiny rolling home, and set out with their 2 cats, Vanna and G. For 4 years they traveled the length of Mexico, Central America, and South America. They parked in bustling cities, deserted roads, coastal villages, and mountainsides, never once feeling unsafe. Each night inside the van had felt secure, a sanctuary of wheels that carried them through the unknown. But safety is fragile, and illusions can shatter in an instant. It happened in Chile, on a night that began quietly and ended with terror pounding on their windows. A single sound transformed their haven into a prison, and every mile of their journey after would carry the memory of that night. The evening gave no warning. Their van was parked in what seemed to be the perfect spot right beside a brightly lit mall, where cars came and went. Families strolled past, and the hum of the city gave comfort. Snow had settled in with the cats, while Curt stretched out, believing the night would be no different than thousands before. But as the clock edged closer to 10, a violent pounding tore through the air.
All right, guys. With no doubt about it, our scariest moment in the van. The voice is shaking. It's taken us a minute to get the camera. Oh, you all right, Curt?
Yeah.
Middle of the night. I don't even know what time it is. It's
Not that late.
It's only 10 o'clock. I don't know if y'all can see it, but we just woke up to someone banging on the window. Our 3M security film worked, but our window is shattered. We need to duct tape this. We'll be back in a minute.
The side window quaked under the weight of the assault, followed by the unmistakable sound of glass splintering under pressure. The cats bolted to the back, their tiny hearts racing. Someone was there. Someone was trying to break in. Their protective film saved them. The window fractured into 1,000 jagged shards, but still held together, resisting the intruder's efforts. Curt's body slammed against the floor as he fought his way out of the tangled sheets, pain ripping through his ribs. Snow's trembling hands flipped on the lights, flooding the van with harsh illumination. The pounding stopped. Heavy footsteps retreated into the night, swallowed by the chaos of their screams. For a moment, silence returned, broken only by the rapid gasps of the couple and the desperate cries of the cats. Yet the van no longer felt safe.
You never know where this will happen, I guess, but we were not parked in an area that felt sketchy.
All safe, but
Yeah,
it's a big city. It's a smash and grab. They were trying to smash in and break what we had, or steal what we had, and that's all. It could happen anywhere in the world. It just happened to us.
right here.
Here.
We're gonna go drive and try to find a paid parking lot that we can maybe get into.
Someplace.
There's nothing on iOverlander. There's not much options showing up on the Google. It's kind of where we ended up where we were. But we don't feel like this is somewhere we should stay.
By morning, they found a repair shop in the city, replacing the broken glass and securing it with new protective film. Workers assured them the van was whole again, but the couple knew better. Windows could be fixed, but shattered peace could not. Their home on wheels, the vessel that carried them through continents, now carried a scar that could not be polished away. They told themselves that danger could happen anywhere, Chile, Florida, anywhere in the world. But those words did little to silence the memory of pounding fists and cracking glass. The van had always been their shield against the unknown now. It was a reminder of how thin that shield truly was. Snow and Curt pressed on, continuing their journey, but the night lingered. Every sound in the dark became a threat, every shadow a reminder. Their bands still carried them forward, but the ghosts of that night traveled with them.
Stop. There's no way.
What's up, guys? That was the most awkward thing we've ever done. Never do that again.
The night at Burnt Bridge was unlike anything they had ever experienced. The moment they arrived, the old wooden structure stretched across the water, dark and silent under the moonlight. As they walked down the dirt road toward the bridge, they caught a glimpse of something on the far side just beyond the reach of their lights. Chris would check the footage later, but in the moment it vanished too quickly to be sure of what it was. The air was heavy, and every sound seemed amplified. The crunch of their footsteps on the dirt, the rush of water beneath the bridge, the wind brushing through the trees. It was the kind of night that made your skin crawl without any explanation. As they continued down the road, CJ felt the device in his back pocket turn on by itself. There was no reason for it to activate, and it sent a chill through him that he could not shake. They pressed on.
What the fuck is that? Oh my god. Hang on a second.
What the fuck?
Turn my light on.
See that?
I thought it was smelling like a house. There's something. There's an old building right there. Okay, hold on. What the fuck was that?
I don't know. That's obvious. Dude, I was looking. I could see through the whole. I could see through the whole building, but nothing moved.
And soon noticed a small, weathered building in the distance, its gray boards worn with age. Something about it made them hesitate, and then they ran back toward the van without looking back. When they finally returned,
Okay, in the van. In the fucking van. In the van.
Oh, are you okay? Are you alright? Dude, you gotta put it down. Are you okay?
Yeah.
What did you see or what did you hear? What happened? Lock that shit.
I did.
What just happened? I couldn't even see you. I literally cannot see you.
I went and stood on the bridge. I swear on my life, Chris. I held my hands like this. I said, if there's anything good or evil here, I want you to invite. I want to invite you to come here.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
Oh, it's not the van.
Fuck! Fuck!
what I'm doing. Come on, man. There's got to be somebody out there with us. There's got to be somebody, right?
You going out there and look? Because I don't.
No, I'm laying in the floor. I'm not getting the fuck up until the morning, Chris.
What do I do with the camera?
The band seemed to hold the tension of the night around it. CJ screamed suddenly from inside the camper, the sound cutting through the darkness, but when Chris looked, there was nothing there. The night pressed on, with rain beginning to fall lightly against the roof, the shadows seeming to move just at the edge of vision. Exhaustion eventually claimed them, and they tried to sleep, but the band swayed sharply as if gripped by invisible hands.
Oh, wake up, dude. What the fuck is that? Was that an earthquake?
What was that?
The van was just swaying side to side, dude.
We should go out there and fucking look for it.
Fuck that, dude. I'm not going out there. Fuck that. It's
No,
paralyzing.
come on, seriously.
No, I'm not going out there, dude.
Is the van still rocking?
Feel it.
What the fuck is that?
There's no way it's that windy right now. Dude, that's not a good idea, bro.
CJ grabbed a jacket and ran outside to investigate, while Chris stayed behind, too scared to move. The road was empty, silent except for the creaking of the van and the rustle of leaves in the wind. CJ found nothing, no sign of anything that could have caused the movement. When he returned, both men felt the oppressive weight of the night settle over them once more. The events left them shaken, unsure of what they had seen or heard, and aware that Burnt Bridge still held secrets it would not easily reveal. Sam was known online as the stealth camping master. He lived in Cleveland, Ohio, and his channels showed him sneaking into places and setting up camp where no one thought he could. He had camped behind stores, under bridges, and deep in the woods. People liked watching him because he stayed calm. No matter where he was, he never seemed afraid, and he always got away with it. One night, he decided to try a metro park outside the city. On paper, it looked like an easy spot. It was just trees, trails, and open ground. Families hiked there during the day. At night, though the place was different, some locals said it wasn't safe to camp out there. They claimed people had gone missing in the deeper parts of the woods. Sam told his camera those were just stories, and he walked past the main trail into the thick brush as the fog started to roll in. The deeper he went, the heavier the air became. The fog wasn't just thick, it was suffocating. The forest floor was soft, as if it had been turned over again and again. When he found a small clearing, he stopped and pushed leaves aside to set up his tent. That was when his hand hit something solid. He brushed away the damp soil and uncovered a tarp so old it had fused with the ground. Beside it was the frame of a tent poles bent in unnatural angles, the fabric shredded, like it had been clawed at. It wasn't just abandoned, it looked destroyed. Sam showed the find to his camera, but kept his voice steady. Still, his eyes lingered longer than usual before he moved on and pitched his own shelter.
So that took a little longer than I normally would have taken and normally would have liked to. The ground is still frozen in a lot of places, so it's hard to get it staked out to its full capacity, but we got her done, got extra stakes, so I'll shore her up here in a few minutes, but got our little humble abode for the evening. One-man bivvy tent. I can't wait to use this on fly fishing and boat camping trips.
Once his fire was lit, he noticed the silence. No bugs, no owls, no sound of wind, just silence pressing down on the woods. When he spoke, his voice seemed swallowed before it even left his mouth. Later, when he replayed a short clip on his camera, his stomach tightened.
It's like I'm the sausage and I'm stuffed in the tent, you know, like my peppers are down there, but I'm the sausage. You're looking at the sausage because the sausage is me. There's somebody, hang on. I don't know if they can see it or not through the tent. I don't think so. I'm leaning right up against the light, but somebody's walking around out there very close to the tent. out there. I don't know if they're coming this way or just walking around out there. I can't tell. Somebody's definitely walking around out there, though. Hang on. I don't want to leave the light on in case they could see in here. I think the fly is thick enough that they can't see the light, but still, I'm leaning right up against the lantern, so you can only just barely see my face. I don't know if you could see with my phone. I don't know if you could see me better with my phone or not. Somebody's walking around out there. They're getting closer, too. They're getting closer. Hang on. Hang on. I want you to be able to see as much as possible, but I'm not going to turn on the lantern again. I have my headlamp in my pocket, too. They're really close now. They're like, listen. I don't like this at all. I'm spooked. Hello? Hello? They're really close. They're like 10 feet away. I think there's two people. I can't tell. I can barely hear them talking. They're whispering. I think there's two people. Hello? I think there's two of them. They're coming closer to the tent. They have to know that I'm in here. I'm gonna try and just be silent. Hang on. They're walking around outside in circles. Hello? Hello? All right, I don't like this. Hello? Hello? They're touching my tent. Stop. They're right outside the tent. Hello? I'm in here. Hello? 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 All right, I'm getting the out of here. Hello? Hello? I don't know what the this is, but we're getting out of here. Hang on. Hello? Okay, they're walking away now. What do you want? What do you want? I have a knife. Where's my knife? They're with me. They're with me here. Holy crap. Get away. What do you want? Hello? I can't see you. Hello? All right, I'm getting out of here. We're getting the hell out of here. Hello? What do you want? Say something. I see you. They collapsed my tent on me. I don't know which way they went. I think they went this way. I see you. Get away! All right, I'm spooked. I don't like this. Get my headlamp on and we're getting out of here right now. They're just standing there. They're just standing there. What do you want? Leave me alone! They went over that way. I can't see them now. I know you're there. I see you. They collapsed my tent on me and pulled the fly off while I was still in there. It smells like someone's smoking a cigarette too. I smell your cigarette. I smell your cigarette. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. I have a knife. I smell your cigarette. All right, I'm officially like tweaking now. I'm like, I think All right, we're just gonna get out of here. We're just gonna get out of here. I'll come back for this crap later. Do I have my phone? I'm gonna call 911 if you come near me. Should I just call the police now, or do I just go?
Under his own words, there was something else. A whisper. It was faint but sharp enough to cut through. He froze, replayed it again, and then quickly shut the camera off. Horrors dragged on. The fog crept closer, rolling into his clearing like it had a mind of its own. That was when he heard them footsteps slow, crunching leaves. They circled, never coming closer than the edge of the light, but never leaving either. Sam called out once, but his voice cracked. And the sound died instantly, as if the fog had choked it down. Sam sat frozen. The pressure built until the entire side of the tent pushed inward. Then it came from the other side too, and the back. The tent caved from all directions at once, poles groaning before snapping in sharp cracks. It was like invisible hands were crushing him, folding the shelter around his body. His camera shook as he fought to push the fabric back, but the harder he pushed, the more it collapsed. He tore free, stumbling out into the clearing, the fog swirling like smoke around him. For one brief second, the lens caught something crouched low at the tree line, a figure darker than the fog, still as stone, watching him, its head tilted slowly, unnaturally, as though curious. Sam bolted. He sprinted through the trees, his headlamp bouncing wildly. Branches whipped at his face, roots tried to grab his feet.
They're coming behind me. I don't know what they're doing. They could just be around. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going. They're at my campsite. I see them. I see you reflecting off my tent. Leave my shit alone! All right, I'm getting out of here. You can have it. How do I? Which way? Here. Okay. Ah. One of them's following me. One of them. Okay, here's the trail of some kind. Ah! 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 I just ate. I just ate. I'm soaked. I'm toast. Okay. Oh, they're coming. Leave me alone. Okay. Okay. I don't know where I'm going. Ow! Motherfucker. All right. Ow! 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 I just ate. Ow! I'm in prickers. Okay. Ow! Mother. Ow! Ow! What the fuck? Okay. I don't see or hear anybody. All right, this is a clearing here. I just tripped over that. Ow. Oh, my knee. My poor knee.
The sound of running footsteps stayed just out of reach, always at his side, always following. Every time he looked over his shoulder, the fog closed in, hiding whatever stalked him. His lungs burned, but he didn't stop until the glow of the parking lot lights finally broke through. He dove into his car, slammed the door, and sped away. The camera kept rolling from the passenger's seat, catching his shaking hands on the wheel. Later, when the footage went online, his viewers argued. Some said it was staged. Others swore the figure in the fog didn't move like a person. Sam never went back to that park, one of his last updates on the incident. His voice was flat and serious. He said, "Not every place is meant for camping, and some places don't want you there at all." For once, the stealth camping master admitted he had been afraid.